got a heart, he's a fixin' man. With Nick by his side, they've got a plan. From a busted car to a cracked phone screen, they're turning wrenches, living the dream. Garden tools and a leaky sink.
Hey, good morning. It's the next day. And after we got done yesterday, I got sitting down and me and a barley pop had a conversation. I started actually doing some calculations, which for some reason I thought I did earlier, but I didn't. That structure will not hold that water tank. That structure would probably only hold about 900 pounds, depending on the wind and a lot of other formulas in there. So I grabbed the calculator. And started doing some number crunching. And when I got done with that, I went down to the computer and I entered what my thought was into ChatGPT, and it came up with the same conclusion. I'd already thought that I had to add some cross braces on there for support and whatnot. Basically, we're gonna have to add cross supports. I'm gonna have to add another pole in the middle. I'm gonna add a platform on the top. With all that extra support on there, it does no good to have it that high in the air because I can't use the space. So today, we're gonna drop this down. We're gonna go to Menards, we're gonna get some boards. We're gonna put some cross pieces in there. We're gonna bolt it up. I think we're gonna bring it down 2 or 3 foot. We're gonna bolt it up, put the cross pieces in there, put a platform on there. And we're just gonna make it pretty robust because this tank full of water is about 1.5 tons. All right, and if you think about 1.5 tons in the air, suspended, and the wind, all it has to do is move a little bit to actually have the weight switch. Then 2x6s will only hold about, conservatively 40 pounds per square foot is what my understanding is. Or anyhow, we're gonna make it better. So without further ado, I'm gonna go to Menards. All right, we needed a box 40 or 38 by 46. All right, so 46, right? 46. We don't want to cut it at 38. We want to add 3 inches to it because each one of these is 1.5 inches. So we would have 41 and 46. A lot of people make the mistake when they're using a saw, and I know this is a little saw here. It doesn't really matter. They make a mistake of, well, see, it ain't thick enough. So when they adjust it, they adjust it way down. And this one is really, this is set at the right thickness. On a bigger saw, this is actually where you want the blade. On a bigger saw, some people adjust it all the way down, the blade's sticking way out. The blade has to work twice as hard if it's too deep than if it wasn't. Screws first, and this is in the 41 inch piece because the other ones go inside, 1.5 inches on each side. So that would make 38 here. I always start it. One of the things is I love for doing anything outside, or decks or anything. I know there's a lot of screws, but I love these things. They're self-tapping. They go into wood really easy. Here, I don't know if you can see that or not. They're a little more money, but it's going to save you in the long run. And I always use the Torx head. It doesn't strip as easy as Phillips. Well, today is just a day of little tidbits here. Sometimes it's pre-treated wood. You notice how wet it was when through that screw in. Just put a screw in the side there and pull it in like that. So you might be wondering how I know it's square. Measure corner to corner. We got 64. And 64. So it's square. Now whether it'll stay that way or not, we want to measure before we put the concrete in. A couple scrap pieces on 3 corners. That should keep it square until we get it up in the air. Back from Menards. Got the wood over there. What I'm thinking is to bring it down. I'm gonna probably bring it down to 36. I'm bring it down 36 inches high, or 36 inches from the top. And that'll put it about 36 inches off the ground. Then I guess we can get buckets under there or something. I got the nailers on there. Made sure they were level. They were pretty level, fairly level. We'll level the top platform up a bit. It's a little off, but it's close enough because we're going to level it up again. So drop down from up there. We have it just tacked in with a couple screws. I got some bolts. We're going to drill some holes in these. Drill some holes in there and put some carriage bolts in there before we frame it up the rest of the way. Of course, I'm going to get these off of there and make sure it's level. And I'm going to take the chainsaw. I'm going to whack these off with a chainsaw. I know. But it's quicker, easier, and not as much stress on the post. Still green concrete in the ground. I don't want to use some handsaw or something and put a lot of pressure on them. Pulled the chainsaw out, cut it up. I got an owl out there, but that's okay. We're gonna put a piece of wood across there. We're gonna braze it up more. So I'm gonna go get that drill bit and we're gonna get them carriage bolts in there, and then we're gonna frame it up a little more. Put some cross supports on there. Then we're gonna put one more this way, but we're gonna put a couple pieces across here and another one in the middle. So we're gonna make that right now. We're gonna cut 2 pieces and then 1 piece, and we're gonna put that bracing in there, and then we'll work on the bottom. So let's get that done. Cross braces in. We're just screwed in right now. We're gonna go get the drill through here, and I think I got screws long enough. I'm hoping. Well, let's see. Well, turns out I don't have screws long enough, or carriage bolts long enough. So I'll have to get some other ones, but I'm not gonna let that hold us up because I don't know that it's gonna really, I mean, it's gonna add to the strength, but not something that I think is gonna be devastating. I mean, so I'm gonna screw it here, and on the outside, we'll leave a space for to get a carriage bolt in there. But it's going to be a distributed load, so we got the middle piece on there. Okay, bolted, concrete in the ground. Now what we need to do is we need to start cutting these cross pieces. We're going to go in a Z or an X on each one. The inside is going to be one way, the outside will go the other way. The inside bracing is all done. I'll do the outside and bring you back. Now, one thing I wanted to point out here is that if you do something like this, and I don't know what the experts are going to say, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to say, is that I do it staggered like this. If you notice, I'll still make an X, but it'll be on the outside, and that way I can be a little lenient. I don't have to cut an angle on one end. I can fluctuate a little bit and still get really good stuff. So in other words, I don't have to be as accurate. So let's get the outside done and bring you back. All the cross braces on there. Okay. Let's extra pole in the middle. Let's put a OBS on top. Paint it up, seal it, because the OBS ain't gonna last. That should help distribute some of the weight. We should be good. We should be good. Got the top on it. I used I wanted to use screws, but all I have is drywall screws, and sometimes they break when it goes in plywood. I used 8 sinkers. I had them. 8 sinkers. Sorry, I was looking at the screws. 8 sinkers. About every 6 inches. We're gonna paint her up. The top, right from the weather. These will be okay. I ended up painting the top and side pieces because when I painted the edge of the OSB, it got on there, of course. And so I just went ahead and painted them. The whole thing looks pretty good. As soon as it dries, I'll get cleaned up. I'll get cleaned up everything, all the tools and everything. As soon as it dries, we'll get the inloader, the skid steer, and we'll lift it up on there. Then we'll anchor it down somehow. Probably screws through it.
Bob got a heart, he's a fixing man. With Nick by his side, they've got a plan. From a busted car to a cracked phone screen.
All right, hope you're able to see that. Basically I had to keep adjusting the chain by myself, so it's up there. We're going to get some type of clamps. I think I'll just drill a hole in here, right? A couple, and And we'll bring you back after I get that clamped down. But it fits. Really good. So we got the wind to blow it off for right now. Again, I can't. It does not have. The concrete is not completely dry, so I don't really want to put a lot of weight on it. Hey, I'll bring you back in a minute. Here's what I found. Actually, some conduit, 1/2 inch. I just bent them around at 3/4. That'll hold it down until it gets water in it. It is only 270 gallons. I thought it was 330, but it's 270, so that's gonna help a lot. Yeah, it's up here. So, to be honest with you, what we did is we built a platform. Built a platform for, I guess, this 270 gallon tank for rainwater. Rainwater is collected way over there. I showed you pictures of it. It's gonna be awesome. So this is just episode 1. We have a lot of engineering to figure out, or things to figure out with a pump and everything else in episode 2. The hard part's done, I think. Well, not the hard part, but the most labor intense part is done. We did start out with one design, in which sometimes I don't think all the way. I think some people overthink stuff. I overthink stuff sometimes, but this one for some reason I was thinking 55 gallon barrel. I don't know what I was thinking. But then I got calculating the rate of the water last night. Oh, when this barley pop and I got talking, and there's no way I was gonna put that much weight on that thing. So basically we rebuilt it. We made it really robust now. It's strong. It'll hold more than enough weight to carry that water. So until next time, please tune in to episode 2. I'm hoping that it'll be out in a week or so. I'm not stopping working on this. I just want to get this out, so hopefully people start watching. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Thank you. And one thing I want to do is I want to say, you can't do anything unless you try. And if you're allowing everybody to do things for you, do it yourself. Try it yourself. It's fun. Thanks.